All right, good afternoon and welcome to Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. It's good to have you join us on the program today. So the whole idea behind the program is to get us all of us talking about things that affect us as a people, and essentially to bring us to a realization of our roles as members of this great nation. All right, so let's do the business today. And I told you yesterday as I was checking out of the studio that I will be talking about diaspora voting. So I'll be examining the possibility of diaspora voting in Nigerian elections. Sometime within the program, I'm hoping to be able to speak with the chairman, Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council, Prince Adeomole. Just a brief background that I'd like to bring to your listening pleasure if you understand the implication of the diaspora and the diaspora voting. Of course, the Nigerians both at home and abroad especially have hitherto been clamoring for inclusion in the electoral process of their fatherland. The agitations for Nigerians domiciled outside of Nigeria to be able to take part in electioneering process, registering and particularly voting from their various countries of residence has been, for quite some time now. And it has, been meeting with brick walls, really. Just a brief of that. I will come to that in a moment. However, the concerted efforts of Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council under the leadership of Prince Adeomole alongside his team, as well as their home-based team, has in the last 1 year worked assiduously to revive the call for a bill to be passed at the National Assembly. So the Nigerian Diaspora Bill has passed second reading at the National Assembly and subsequently forwarded to the appropriate committee for further deliberation. And, it will interest you to also note that that bill, that Diaspora Voting Bill, was also sponsored by the Honorable, in the House of Representatives, was sponsored by Honorable Tolu Shadipe, with support from Nigeria Diaspora Commission headed by Honorable Abike Dabiri, and so on and so forth. So what is the idea behind this? It's quite a lot of agitations. When you consider what, these members in the diaspora, by the way, those in the diaspora essentially talks about Nigerians or any national outside of their country. So you have quite a number of Nigerians in the diaspora, or if you like, a lot of Nigerians outside Nigeria, with a migrant conservative figure of 1.2 million in 2017, which was expected to move by another 25% and 31% in 2018 and 2019 respectively. The country had in financial remittances, official figures, about 22 billion billion dollars in 2017 and 23.6 billion naira dollars in the year 2018, representing 66.1% of Nigeria's gross domestic product, and a growth of 14% year-on-year from the 2017 figure. In the same year, in 2018, diaspora remittances translated to 83% of the federal government appropriation bill for that year, which also was 11 times the foreign direct investment for the same period. According to the 2021 Diaspora Remittance Report survey published by Augusto Consulting, Nigeria has over $21 billion annually in inflows from diaspora remittances, making it the second largest recipient of remittances on the continent, only after Egypt. The agency reports that remittances from the Nigerian diaspora have become a major mainstay of the country's economy, representing the second largest source of foreign exchange inflow into the country, and second only to crude oil earnings. So with further financial forecast, diaspora remittances for years 2020, 2022, and 2024 could grow to $27.6 billion and $32 billion, as well as $37 billion respectively. So you get the drift now. We need to continue to understand that the enormity of the contribution, if you like, the word is remittances. That's how much money comes from Nigerians outside of the country. I mean, Nigerians scattered abroad in the diaspora. It's so enormous that they also thought that they should have a say in what goes on around us, particularly in this country, and especially as to who becomes a political leader at any level in the country. The agitations have come a long way. I will come to that agitation in a moment. Of course, I have issues with figures. There is disputed figures about the number of Nigerians outside of the country. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs in June 2020 estimates Nigerians in the diaspora to be 1.7 million. In 2017, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, head of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, said Nigerians in diaspora were 15 million. And in 2019, she said there are 20 million Nigerians outside of the country. Wherever you go or whatever figures you believe, we are looking at people remitting something between 22 and something between 21 and 25 billion US dollars every year. It's massive, right? Yes, it is massive. I was talking about the agitations, really. The Nigerians in diaspora have been agitating for a slice of the pie, I mean the political pie, for them to be able to vote, to register and to vote in Nigerian elections. So the agitation started in 2005 during the Obasanjo government, where the government promised to look into it. During the Yar'Adua administration, the House of Representatives rejected a 2009 bill to grant voting rights to Nigerians in diaspora and claimed that it contravened the 1999 Constitution, which states that only those who are physically present can vote. In the Jonathan era, in Goodluck Jonathan era in 2012, two members of the House of Representatives sponsored a bill to amend Electoral Act 2010, as amended, to grant citizens in diaspora rights to vote. That bill also failed. In 2016 up to 2019, or up to 2017, really, INEC itself, Independent National Electoral Commission, stated that it was ready to have Nigerians in the diaspora to vote in elections. It backtracked, really. It backtracked in 2017. But, build up to the 2019 election, the conversations about Nigerians in diaspora voting also came up. And you would want to think that this time around, they are ready. I mean, Nigeria is ready for diaspora voting. Before I came into the studio, I was also reading about diaspora voting, particularly on the African continent. And two countries, were prominent in this area. The Rawlings era, you had Ghanaians allowed to vote. And particularly, these were Ghanaians, expatriates appointed by the government. Essentially, that was the drift at that time. Much, much later, you had, a reversal. And then in 2014 or so, I guess, that there was this agitation as well from the Ghanaians in the diaspora. I also know about the South African experience. I know that, the government allows, people in the diaspora to vote. So what Nigeria, being the largest economy in Africa, as well as probably the country with the most number of people outside, yes, that these people will be given a say or will be allowed to make their say in the issues around voting and all that. A lot of them are involved in businesses, in offices and jobs across the world. And they would like to also have a mouth in what goes on around them, not just to remit money home, but to also be able to take some decisions or contribute to decision-making as to who becomes their leader at any level, whether as president or as governor or as local government chairman. These are key questions that we hope to address today. So in a few seconds, I will be putting online Prince Adeomole, the chairman of the Diaspora Voting Council in Nigeria. And I thought that this would be a key matter to really talk about as Nigerians. So I'm just hoping that I'll be able to get him on stream in a moment, okay? So as soon as I get him on stream, I'll put him on the line and we'll get talking on this matter. It's still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. And the program just essentially wants to take a look at this agitation and how much or how far we have traveled. Particularly at this time where the National Assembly is making attempts to amend the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have with me on the line Prince Ade Omole, is the chairman, Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council. Prince Omole, good afternoon and welcome to Talking Points on Splash FM.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about the progress made at this point. I understand that the bill to allow Nigerians in diaspora to vote in Nigerian elections passed for second reading. As a key player in making this bill to see the light of day at the National Assembly, tell us the background to this bill.
Sorry, can you repeat that question, sir?
So essentially, I just wanted to ask you to tell us the background to this bill. How did we arrive at the juncture where the bill now has passed for second reading at the National Assembly? I know this agitation has been going on for long. How?
All right, okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, again, my name is Prince Ade Omole. I'm the chairman of the Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council. And this is for DV. That is how we refer to it.
Yeah.
The advocacy for DV voting diaspora voting has been on for several years. But in year 2018, we actually set up this council to look into, actively working towards having diaspora voting. And in February 2020, what we did was we put together a highly subscribed workshop where we invited the presidency, INEC, members of the National Assembly, and we all agreed that diaspora voting was something we should have at this present time, that Nigeria is worth for diaspora voting, and it's something that will make the elections in Nigeria very inclusive. So what we did after that particular workshop was to put together a bill in 2020, this was year 2020, and sometime in June last year 2020, that bill actually passed the first reading. This bill is actually being sponsored by Honorable Olatunbosun, very lovely supportive woman. And in December, I believe it was on the 15th of December 2020, it also passed second reading. So a lot of work has gone into it. We've been at it for a very long time. I'm quite glad and also happy that the Night Assembly now is working hand in glove with the Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council to ensure that we have diaspora voting in Nigeria. And that's one of the reasons why we've been crisscrossing the nation. I'm sure you're aware that there is a public hearing going on across the country in all the 6 political zones of Nigeria, and we've been dealing represented at those public hearings, and we will continue doing that.
Okay.
So, yes, it's on. We are not there yet, but we have serious work that's actually gone into it, and that's why, as of today, we can conveniently say that that bill has passed on second reading. We're now at the public hearing, and hopefully, we believe that it will pass third hearing, and it will go to the state assembly, so that it becomes part of the new constitution that will come out of this present exercise.
All right.
The good thing,
yes,
let me just quickly add this. The good thing about this is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, is keyed into the project. He's reiterated several times that he will assent to the bill, and he likes it, he actually wants it. And remember, this is one of the promises of the APC-led administration, that we will ensure that we have that vote in Nigeria. We're on it, we're working towards it, and surely it will become a reality in Nigeria.
Okay.
The INEC, the electoral umpire Nigeria is also ready for it. The chairman of INEC has said it again several times that he's ready, INEC is ready, And they have a model to adopt so that diaspora will become implemented as soon as that law is actually changed. And why not if not? Nigerians at the end of the day, living outside the shores of this country, are also Nigerians. If you look at the humongous amount of money that they're sending, they actually remit year in, year out. And let me give you a perspective to that without wasting your time. The entire stock market for Nigeria is about $20 billion US. The entire budget for Nigeria is always between $32 billion. Now, you have a group of people living outside this country, and the same case right now. Sometimes in 2019, sorry, in 2018, it was about $27 billion US. In 2019, it was close to $30 billion US. Now, we're looking at the figures for 2020. The figure is not yet out, but we believe it will be in the region of $30 to $31 billion US. So we are partners in progress. Even though we don't live in this country, we support this economy, and that's why we believe that at the end of the day, we will also have a say in who governs the country. And not only that, it's the right thing to do. There are about 200 democracies in Nigeria that have, 200 countries in the world that have diaspora voting. So we believe that Nigeria being the giant of Africa, we should have it, because even in Africa, there are talk about 6 countries, smaller countries that don't even have the capacity that we have.
Okay.
And I believe that we should have it. That is what the council believes in, and that's what I can give enough courage to actually go for it.
All right.
And I must mention quickly that the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, headed by Honorable Africa Dabiri, is also working hand in glove with us.
All right.
And we are all working together as one agency to ensure that we have diaspora voting in Nigeria.
All right. All right. So I like this your build up. And I like the financial part of it. The remittances across the world that are coming into Nigeria. The figures, I like the figures. It's always tempting to say that when you have a fat amount of money coming from these people, you should allow them to have a say in electioneering. But you just said that a number of countries around the world, many countries allow their diaspora people to also vote. But when you consider the terrain in Africa, it's not a popular format when it comes to electioneering. Do we really have the technology to drive this campaign? Really?
Now, I have a very simple answer to that question, and I think you answered your question partially. You said that even some countries in Africa are already doing it. Nigeria is a giant of Africa, not just in size, and not just the size of our economy, but also in size of the expertise that we bring to the table. If we as the giant of Africa can't do it, then we have no business in called Nigerians. But we are Nigerians. We never give up. And when you talk about technology, look, there are in the country, we have models, like I did say earlier on. There are models that have been proposed by INEC. We are 1,000% ready for diaspora voting. We have the technology. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. There are off-shelf, what you call off-shelf technology solutions that you can actually use to implement diaspora voting in Nigeria. So the short answer to your question is yes. We as Nigerians, as a giant of Africa, we have the capacity to do it. Funding won't be a problem. And the fact that we have a solution, the solution to also implement diaspora voting as other smaller countries that are not even as powerful or big as Nigeria are actually doing it.
All right.
And as for the model, there are different models. Obviously, there are different models depending on the size. But INEC has actually come up with what we call the fit-for-purpose model. INEC has done so much research on this, because when we invited them to the 2020 workshop, they did present 5 models, and they selected. They've actually opted for the most convenient, the most fit-for-purpose model that will work for Nigeria. And let me add something to that. To our listeners, or maybe it will fail or they're not ready. Now, there's something called OVC. Sorry, OCV, out of country voting. OCV. OCV is being done at this present time. So INEC actually conducts OCV. You know, when you have, because we have Nigerians that are out on mission, Nigerians on official assignment.
Yeah.
All those countries, I remember sometime in the Northeast, there were few Nigerians that couldn't vote between Nigeria. They voted outside refugees and they voted from outside the country. So, OCV is on, which is similar to diaspora voting. But what we're saying, so it's not something new to INEC. They've done it before on a smaller scale. Now we're saying let's move it a step further and actually have diaspora voting so that Nigeria can also be not just a giant of Africa in words, but also in action. Thank you, sir.
All right. So, thank you, sir. I like the fact that the out-of-country voting has been on and you are trying to build on it. And also the president has keyed into this. One of the questions for me is, at your level of engagement with INEC, what will be the criteria, for instance? I know that, so if you are in UK, for instance, someone is in Manchester, someone is in London, someone is in, maybe Portsmouth or something, and it's time for election. How have you, answered questions about logistics, really?
Logistics is, I'll probably say, logistics is yes. It's not a challenge. It's just a task that has to be accomplished as one of the activities that will lead to the implementation of diaspora voting in Nigeria. Now, you ask me, there's someone in Manchester, one in London, and probably one in Newcastle. Now, let's have a look at it a bit further. You have somebody or a group of Nigerians in Dubai. You've got a group of Nigerians in Oman. You've got a group of Nigerians in the United States, in the UK. Now, at this time, those are tasks that INEC has already researched into, and that's, for me, personally, and for the council, that is not even an issue at all. Again, like I said the other time, there are models. I think at the appropriate time, there will be another session, a bigger session this time, maybe it will be a two-day session where all the stakeholders will come together again and we can enlighten and also inform Nigerians as to how the implementation will be sorted by the electoral empire. But I can confirm, because we've been working with them for several years, I can confirm that from the council side, we're confident that INEC has the capacity and also has the resources and the expertise to actually get this done as actually required. Thank you.
All right, so the program is still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. I was talking about the possibility of diaspora voting in Nigerian elections. Prince Adeomole, Chairman, Nigerian Diaspora Voting Council, NDVC, is still with me. Okay, so before I let you go, just two questions. Number one is, in your interface, particularly in your conversation around this diaspora voting, there are three levels, at least three levels of election. You have the federal election, you have the state, and the local government election. Let us in on how we are going to, really deploy this diaspora voting to realize any of this. Or do you have a specific, maybe at the just federal election, that the diaspora voting will cover, or all the three steps?
It will be mainly the general elections in Nigeria. It will be mainly the general elections in Nigeria. And remember that I think informed you earlier on that the model that we adopted, I don't want to preempt how INEC, the electoral umpire, is actually going about this. But from what we've seen and what we've heard, this is not a problem at all. It most likely will be the general elections, and then INEC will be coming up with the logistic. We'll be actually coming up with the people to schedule for that. I believe, like they said several times, that they are ready for it and they will go for it.
All right. So finally, I have a question about confidence. You expressed your confidence in INEC a while ago. Just to go back to
INEC.
Yeah.
INEC, President and also the country.
Yes.
And we as Nigerians.
Okay, I remember that in 2016, INEC stated that they were ready for diaspora voting, and suddenly, a year later, INEC backtracked. So you understand the intricacies of lawmaking and legislation, and they have to amend the Electoral Act. That's number one. They have to amend the Constitution, which is going on at the moment. How much of confidence do you have in the system to make this possible? I mean, to get INEC, to get the National Assembly to do the needful, I mean, amend the laws, and to get INEC to also have the will to stand up to this responsibility.
Okay, let me take you one at a time. First, when the law gets changed, or when the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is actually amended to include diaspora voting, it now becomes mandatory for INEC to actually implement it. I know they're ready, so it doesn't matter whether they're ready or they'll probably start, thinking about it. It is part of the Constitution. It becomes mandatory. So on INEC's side, I don't see any problem with that. Still do it like they've actually said. You did mention 2016 that INEC, they did promise that there was going to be diaspora voting in 2016, and then they backtracked. I don't think that we should be talking about diaspora voting at this present time. And that's why, and that's where NDVC comes in, like the Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council. It is, we should be talking to the legislature at this time. It's not INEC. So the responsibility at this time is to amend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is why we are working hand in glove with the members of the National Assembly, both the Senate and also the House of Reps. I'm talking about and also talking about confidence, and also talking about their preparedness and readiness to actually have it done. Now, this particularly diaspora voting bill has passed first reading. It passed first reading in June, and it passed second reading in December 2020.
Yeah.
There is something different about the Ninth Assembly, the Ninth National Assembly. These are people that are committed, not just to the diaspora cause, but they are committed to uplifting Nigerians and ensuring that Nigerians get the best out of the National Assembly. Now, that works up in February 2020. The National Assembly members or invitees to that workshop was actually led by the Speaker of the House, Honorable Senator Jamila. His Excellency Honorable Sadi Bajatamila. Seriousness is actually for the case. They are ready, they're working 24/7. Honorable working with NICOM, and we also have a commission, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, that is also working hand in glove with us. So everyone is working. We're partners in progress to ensure that diaspora voting becomes a reality in Nigeria, and that's why we made so much progress, and that's why I've been in touch. To come present our paper, because it's going into a third reading and then be sent to the State Assembly. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I'd like to ask for clarification, really. I'm looking at, conflicting figures here. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, as of June 2020, said that there are 1.7 million Nigerians in the diaspora. In 2017, Mrs. Abike Dabiri said that you have 15 million. In 2019, she said we have 20 million Nigerians in the diaspora. How many are there out there, really?
Now, from the figures, the official figures we have is over 17 million Nigerians. But let me actually clarify that. Not every Nigerian out there. For instance, you have to be, there are requirements for you to be a voter, same as we have in Nigeria.
Yes.
You may have 20 million, 200 million, 100 million, 10 million. You still have to go. There are requirements for you to actually first register as a Nigerian in the diaspora and then be able to vote. So, you first you have to be 18, you need to hold a Nigerian passport, and also you have to be resident in that country for a minimum, legitimately registered resident in that country for a minimum of a year, and 4 other things. So, if you look at the bill, the bill actually specifies the Nigerian living outside the country. I mean, who is the diaspora living outside the country that is eligible to vote? You may carry a Nigerian passport, but if you've not been resident in your country of abode for more than 1 year, you won't be able to participate in the electoral process at this present time.
Okay.
So all that has already been taken care of. The bill has actually looked into that. So at the end of the day, we may be saying 17 million, 100 million, 200 million. There are steps and requirements that you have to go through first for you to be registered to vote from outside the country.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. I'd like to just wish that you succeed in this endeavor. I know a lot of Nigerians outside of the country and who also yearn to have a say in who becomes their leader, and also apart from the fact that they are sending money home, they also need to be able to decide who becomes their leader. I appreciate what you do, and I'd like to say thanks to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much.
Prince Ade Omole is the chairman, Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council. Once again, thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
All right. It's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Commercial break, and I'll be back. Please don't go away.
On June 12, 2021, Port Harcourt City will host the maiden edition of the Forum, where a convocation of renowned and seasoned speakers come together to discuss critical and burning topical issues bothering the nation. Theme for this year is What Do Nigerians Want? And will feature the following keynote speakers: Ibukwa Oshika, Henry Odeya Tumugobia, SAN, Mazi Samuel, Ihaichuku Ohanwa OFR, George Etomi, Ona Ekomo, and DK Chukwumirije. Date June 12, 2021. Time 11 a.m. Venue Aztec Acom Event Center, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, River State. For registration and inquiries, visit www.theforumnigeria.com. The forum is organized by the Men's League of Christ Church, Port Harcourt. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Engineer Shea Makinde, Executive Governor of Oyo State. Chief guest of honor and host governor, His Excellency Chief Barrister Ezenwoye Semwike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, Executive Governor of River State. The Forum for a better Nigeria.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
The place and it brighten, make everybody they wonder. Waiting because all the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ma. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is that jollof ready?
See? Right on time.
Your loved ones will always rush home for tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
Mommy, the jollof is yummy.
I wouldn't miss this jollof for anything.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. All thanks to Sonia.
Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
Attain the knowledge you require to join the broadcasting industry. Splash FM Media Academy offers premium training to both aspiring and practicing personalities. And enroll now at Splash FM Media Academy for a certificate of proficiency in broadcast journalism. Splash FM Media Academy courses include Introduction to Presentation, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yoruba Presentation, plus interactive practical mentorship session with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM Media Academy beside White House, Felele, Ibadan. You can also register online at splashfm1055.com/academy or call 0705-439-3332. Visit our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Splash FM Academy for more details. Realize your potential and pursue a career in radio broadcasting today. Splash FM Media Academy, preserving media integrity.
If you had the clearest camera designed for the best selfies on a smartphone, where would you take your first picture?
Probably at the beach with the backdrop of the midnight skies.
At the cinema. It's dark and all, but for the best selfie, darkness shouldn't be a thing, right?
Or maybe I'll take it in front of my favorite suya spot. Some soft light and legendary suya in the background.
Wherever you choose, stand out with the new Techno Camon 70 smartphone. With its 48MP selfie lens for the clearest selfie, 64MP ultra night camera for stunning pictures in low light, and the MediaTek Helio G95 processor for quality gaming and streaming performance. Techno Camon 17. It's time to stand out.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, you're welcome back. It's Talking Points on Splash FM. Before that break, we were talking with Prince Adeomole, Chairman, Nigeria Diaspora Voting Council. And quite a number of things that he said there that the president has keyed into the project, that INEC also, he has confidence in INEC that this time around, we're going to get the Nigerians in diaspora voting going. I remember I talked about the trajectory of the Nigerian in diaspora voting dating back to 2005 during the Obasanjo government, where, you know, you had the promise. You know, Jaradua administration also came, and there were efforts indeed to amend the constitution as well as the voting electoral act to accommodate those who were outside of the country. It did not sail through. And then, you know, during the Goodluck Jonathan government in 2012, you had some members of the House of Representatives who sought to amend the Electoral Act as well to allow citizens in the diaspora to vote. It did not pass as well. So here we are today. We have a bill at the House of Representatives that are, you know, passed for second reading. Let's hope that some of these things will come to fruition. Okay, still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Let me check the news stories that are, you know, emanating at the moment. I'll open the phone lines in a moment as well. And you can also watch me live on Facebook. www.facebook.com/SplashFM105.5 Ibadan. And you'll find us there. And you can also key in your comments if you'd like to, and let's know what you think about the diaspora voting thing. I was talking about Ghana and South Africa. Those are the prominent countries in Africa where they have provisions for diaspora voting. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, look at this story in the Nigerian Tribune. Occupy NAS 2. CSOs threaten to paralyze legislative activities over non-passage of Electoral Act. the coalition of civil society organizations under the aegis of Alliance of Civil Society Organizations for Expansion of Electoral and Democratic Space, on Tuesday threatened to paralyze legislative activities at the National Assembly over undue delay in the passage of the Electoral Amendment Bill. The coalition statement was co-signed by leaders of the coalition, namely Rio Dari Toye, Center for Liberty, Ayo Ademiluyi, Movement for Socialist Alternative, Princess Haman Bells, the Electoral Hub, Simi Olushola, Aspilos Foundation, and Jude Feromi, raising new voices who stress the need for digitalization of the electoral process. And so you can find that story really there. So, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill was also, given some, given some bites. Last time, I remember that before the 2019 election, there was this, bill that was passed at the National Assembly, and the president declined really signing it. The explanation from the presidency was that it was too close to the 2019 elections. So we understand that it's okay to start agitation that the amendment bill of the Electoral Act should be quickly, speedily, attended to, so that we can have some amendments, particularly the e-voting perspective and so many other things. And now we are looking at diaspora voting. Let's see how it turns out. Goke is here. Goke, how now?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, Michael.
Yeah. So you had, part of my conversation with Prince Adeomoli. You're, looking at this story as well about diaspora, the Electoral Act Amendment. One question that I thought I should ask you is this: do you think that we'll be able to pull it through? I mean, diaspora voting, really.
I feel we'll be able to pull it through if we are intentional about it. If we really want to do it, like the Electoral Act, the amendment that you mentioned. The president gave an excuse that it was closer to 2019 election. After the 2019 election, what have we had from the presidency? Must we beg the presidency to do the needful?
I remember that the Senate president when he was talking last year, he was making promise that the first quarter of 2021 that the National Assembly would, pass this bill, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, into law, as well as the PIB that has been in coma for almost the whole of this Fourth Republic. But the Electoral Act seems to be the main issue that a lot of people are saying, let's amend it so that we can clean the electoral process.
Exactly. If we don't clean the electoral process, we complain about the same thing all the time concerning our elections. And that's why we say, if you want to do something, do it. See, enough of all this go slow, all these hold up decisions that we make. We should do the needful. The presidency should do the needful. I must commend members of our House of Representatives, especially the chairman of the committee, Honorable Sadikwe, that you mentioned the other time. I must commend their efforts. And of course, the prince that you brought on for the interview, I must commend them for their acts. But the presidency must move, must make efforts to clean up all of this.
All right.
2023 is coming already.
Comment on Facebook. Akinyade here writes, it's a good thing, but we should be careful so our government won't use that as a new means of corruption. It's basically talking about the diaspora voting.
Countries are doing it all around the world. I'm sure it has its own advantage and disadvantages too. But of course, it's a step forward. If these people, you collect money from them, they remit money everywhere. Why can't they have a say when it comes to election? Of course, we know the part that these people actually played, even concerning the NSAS protest. Thank God for people that were out there. And another instance that they've done well, as far as I'm concerned, was the one that was initiated by the former aide to the president, former president, Reno Mokri. Or these people saying, Mr. President, go back home. You've not done well at home and you want to come here for arrest. So you see the impact that these people do actually have. So, of course, they should have a part in our electoral process.
All right, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that call. Please call back if you can. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. Those are the numbers if you'd like to call us and contribute on the program. You can also tweet at Splash FM 1055, hashtag Talking Points, and you can also key in your comment on Facebook. Okay, so Splash FM on Facebook, and then just go to the live stream, and then check us out there. And if you like to give a comment or two, let's respond to that caller. Okay, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, welcome to Talking Points. What's the name, please?
My name is Wale Omolu Ashi from Ashi Kingdom in Okevo.
Yes, sir. Let's talk.
But the Afro voting that we are discussing this afternoon is a good idea, but Nigeria, Nigeria, we did an election inside this country, and we hear a lot of grammar, inconclusive, to be balanced, and so on and so on. Now we want the Afro people to vote. We did it alone in Nigeria, we know what the result out. How is this going to possible? It's a good idea. We want those people to participate in the election, but how our electoral officer, INEC, are going to be truthful about this thing. That's my own concern. Thank you, Wale Omulu Ashi from Ashi Kingdom. Okay. All
right, thank you very much. So it's allowed for people to be, for us to, be pessimistic and skeptical and ask questions. Hello? Hello? All right, we lost that call. Please call back, okay, if you can. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. Hello. Okay. Okay, so it's not coming through. Okay, so Goki, let's wrap up the conversation here. So the question for me is that, so Nigerians are basically skeptical. Someone, was, commenting here.
We have a call.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Points. What's the name, please?
Welcome, Michael.
Okay.
Ola is my name.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
I'm sitting from my car.
Yes, sir.
The actual voting is very, very important. It's good. But all concerned, all the people that is concerned to sign, to make it possible, I can say 70% of them, they are very rich, but they are all, about 70% of them are semi-illiterate. That is the problem we have. Thank you.
Who are you talking about, basically, sir?
Because they know the right thing and they don't do it. They are not civilized.
All right.
That's my point.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's about the size of the calls now. Goki, let's wrap up the conversation here. Nigerians are skeptical about diaspora voting.
Yeah, there are reasons for us to be skeptical about diaspora voting, because even if we can't get it right, even here in the country, we are skeptical about what will happen if they bring in votes from other parts of the country or other parts of the world. So, of course, I feel we should work on this that we have. I'm not against diaspora voting if we can do it well. The issue is what is worth doing is worth doing well. And if we're intentional about anything, we're going to pull through. That's it for me. All
right. So being intentional is important. So at this time, the idea is to get as many people into the voting net, so that the votes can also count, if you like, and it will also allow the plurality that we are looking for in terms of voting patterns, and people coming out to say they'd like to also be leaders at any point in the country. Let's hope it happens, really. All right, so the job is done for today, Goki. Thank you very much for coming.
It's always nice to be here, Michael.
All right, so as soon as I leave now, Ibadan News Update at 4 o'clock, and after that, game on. Don't forget that is still Splash FM 105.5. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. Our next meeting is Thursday on Talking Points. Do not dump refuse in the waterways, okay? And do everything within your power to make this nation better. We can always make the nation better, really, if all of us join our hands together.